Bump the mic there. Hey guys, let me talk about something that I'm going to definitely call definitely not a third world problem, but a first world problem. And that's sometimes getting bored in our studios and with recording. And you go, oh man, you got a recording studio? What do you mean getting bored? Well, admittedly, sometimes I get bored. You may call it something else. You may call it a rut or just lack of motivation or lack of inspiration, but I'm going to call it getting bored. And sometimes, let me be more specific about it. Sometimes when I'm trying to create a song, I just nitpick it to death or analyze it or just keep searching for the right drum beat or the right guitar sound, and I just keep working away at it. It's called beating a dead horse, right? And when the idea was fresh, I go, boy, this is going to be really good. I'm really excited about it. But after I've been working on the same riff for an hour, I'm just totally like, let's pitch this sucker. I mean, why am I wasting my time on this? There's no reason to go forward. But I'm going to give you 5 good tips to overcome this boredom or to get out of your rut or whatever. And so the first thing I'm going to describe is tip number 1 is keep your studio ready to record. Keep it so you can just walk right in and you're ready to record. For the most part, I never turn my studio off. It's on 24/7, and I'll just reboot occasionally just to go ahead and reboot Windows. But I've got all my guitars ready to go. I've got my mic all set up. Let me adjust this here speaking of adjusting mic. And so I can just come in and I don't lose any inspiration. I'm just recording right off the bat. It takes me all of about 10 seconds. I got to let my Studio One boot up, but I'm ready to go. That's a big tip. Just constantly being ready. Okay, tip number 2. If you're just kind of doing something and you feel this is just old routine, I'm not doing anything new, do something totally different. Try to create something in a style or a genre that you're not that isn't your comfort zone. If you write rock and roll or pop music, then try to do something that's maybe ambient or try to do a club mix. You say, maybe I don't like that, but I can guarantee you if you've got your foundation set and your roots in a certain type of style of music, you're going to gravitate back to it. And that's what's happened to me a lot. I'm using a lot of club beats, a lot of trance music, ambient pads, synthesizer stuff that would not be in rock and roll, but I'm using that for a bass, and I'm throwing in my Superior Drummers 3, and getting some smashing drum beats and throwing a lead on it. And so it's giving me something new. So that's the thing right there. Just kind of, the idea is venture out of your comfort zone. Tip number 3, hold up 3 fingers there, Boy Scout sign, any of you guys are Boy Scouts, this is very similar to trying something new, but create your song or create your music on an instrument that you're not comfortable with. In other words, if you're a guitar player, well, try to start your song on the keyboards. You may not be the best keyboard player like me. I'm a keyboard owner, not a player. But create your parts, create your chord changes on the keyboard. And surprisingly enough, you'll come up with some different chord changes. You'll come up with even some chord textures or different types of chords that you may not have even thought of playing, or you didn't play or don't know how to play on your guitar. Another thing is maybe just hum a melody. And you're not a singer, but you can certainly hum, right? But hum a melody and then find out what that melody is and get that recorded. Nowadays we have the ability where we can just hum right into our DAW, convert that to MIDI, and that can be a bass line, whatever you want to do. So that's another thing. Tip number 4. Get some other people into your studio. Do some collaborations. And even though they don't even have to come into the studio, but you can collaborate online. But the idea is get some fresh meat into your songs, into your studio, so you can bounce things. And I meant to finish my sentence, bounce things off of each other, but they're going to be providing hopefully a healthy dose of the input. Let's just say they provide half the input. So you're getting some fresh ideas from them, things that you wouldn't think of. So you're not going to be going over and traveling in the same ragging ruts that you've been doing for ages. You're going to be traveling in somebody else's ragging ruts. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Get some fresh meat in. And I think just, even if it's just somebody, a singer or another guitar player, you may play guitar. Get another guitar player to come in and lay some guitar parts down. Enjoy being an engineer about it. Don't worry about being the player, and try to track them as best that you can. Number 5, fifth and finally, if it's just getting too much, take a break. And I'm talking about taking a break for either a half an hour, or take a break for an hour, or take a break for a couple of days if that's what you really need to. We have our home studio that we're not paying by the clock. We're not watching. We're not watching the clock, right? So we can take a break if you want to just come back to it and just say. And if you look at my song folder, I've got hundreds of stuff, just stuff that are ideas, and I'll work on them, and yes, I get to the point where some of them I beat them to death and they get old, so I just shelve them and put them away, and I try to at least descriptively describe what they are in my own language, of course, and then I'll come back and revisit them. But so I might put something away for 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 months. How many more months could I go? 7, 8, 9, 10. But at any rate, I put it away and then I come back to it. Or get out and take your dogs for a walk. Buster and Sugar, they love to go out walking. And if you just get some fresh air, some sunshine or whatever, it'll help flow the ideas. But the idea is, get out of the cave here, get out of your chair, go do something else and come back to it. That's it. 5 tips. It'll get you out of your rut. I guarantee you that works for me. I've talked to other people about it. It works for them. That's what is going to help you out. So that's it for this quickie vid for the day. And you remember what everybody says on YouTube, right? Smash the button, like, and go ahead and share the video. That'd be great too. So we're going to see you in the next video, and we'll catch you later. Thank you.